So I thought, to make this even more wild if it actually comes true, I would do this video now in the separation between the Raw after Mania and Elimination Chamber, because a lot can happen in that period of time. People can leave, people can lose that push. So I'm going to put my thoughts into the ether now. I'm not going to do it a day before. I'm going to do it way out there, way out there to get that good spread of time. So if any of this comes true, I'm a genius. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about the Raw after Mania, in particular my 5 wild predictions for that event and what could happen. But if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, please like this video, please comment your predictions down below and let me know what you think is going to happen, and stay tuned to the end of this video because I've got a dincy announcement that should change the look of the show, but we'll get into that at the very end. So yeah, we're talking about Raw predictions. The Raw after Mania has recently become a bit shit. Let's be honest, it's been a bit shit. It's gone from the days of debuts and NXT call-ups to just a dumpster fire, essentially. We will never forgive WWE for the Kofi Seth one. That was abhorrent and terrible. But Triple H knows. Surely he knows the type of travelling crowd that's going to come with a Raw after Mania, and he's going to fill it up with goodies. So we're going to unpackage this. We're going to unbox this. We're going to go through my 5 predictions for the Raw after Mania straight away, starting with this. Now, I'm not particularly happy about this one, but this is, I don't even know if this is considered wild or not, but I do believe on the Raw after Mania we are going to get another repackage of Baron Corbin, and I don't know in what regard it's going to be, because I just don't know anymore what you can do with him. But I do believe at some point we will get a squash match of a new Baron Corbin. Maybe he's gone back to the lone wolf gimmick, maybe he's gone back to being, sad Corbin or whatever it was, but I think he's going to get repackaged on this show and start a feud with someone who he probably shouldn't be starting a feud with. He'll start a feud with, he's already in a feud with Gargano, isn't he? Yeah, I think so. Maybe he'll start a feud with The Miz, and The Miz will turn face, or Corbin's supposed to turn face, but I don't think it's going to be good. But I do think repackaged Corbin is sadly going to be on the Raw after Mania. Coming in at number 4, my 4th prediction is that the main event of Raw will be a 6-man tag pitting the Usos and Solo Sikoa against Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. I think that is a big money main event to have at the end of this show, and I think that will really draw in viewers. And Triple H doesn't really do DQ finishes that much, but this could be one. Maybe you could get a DQ finish out of this, but think of that on a poster. New champion Cody Rhodes, which I'm assuming is going to happen, and new champions, the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, squaring up against their old rivals. I think that will be a fantastic touch for the night after Mania. Usually the night after Mania sets up new challenges, but I'd like to see this bloodline just tie it off in a bow, send that ship on its way with this really cool match here, main eventing Raw. No debuts or anything like that. We'll get to that in the SmackDown video. Switching over now to the women's division, I do believe that Miko Satomura and Alba Fire will make their debuts on the main roster, saving Bianca Belair possibly from Damage Control. Now, I think Alba Fire's definitely had a time in NXT. She is main roster ready. We haven't seen too much of Miko Satomura, but does she need time in NXT? Really? She's a legend. If you've watched any of her NXT UK work and stuff from Japan, she doesn't need any more prep in this new version of NXT. I think they could both make the transition across to the main roster. And helping Bianca Belair, I think, again, is really good. Maybe setting up a 6-man tag for the week after, or a 6-woman tag, should I say, sorry. And I just think they'd be a good unit together, maybe probably taking on Damage Control or part of a new debuting faction in the women's division. That'd be quite exciting. That'd be quite tasty. And yeah, I think that'd be really fun. We might get a Miko Satomura stare down with Asuka. Who doesn't want that? Stare down with Bayley, stare down with Becky Lynch. Miko Satomura and Alba Fire are terrific wrestlers, and they are main roster ready. I am near enough certain that at least one of them will make their debut on the Raw after Mania. Probably Alba Fire, but I wouldn't be surprised if both do. And that is my official prediction. Right there, Miko Satomura and Alba Fire save Bianca Belair. Take it to the bank. Now we are getting into the out there territory. We're getting into the wild ones. I do believe, as my second wild prediction, I believe that Carmelo Hayes will make his debut on the main roster, and he will beat Austin Theory for the US Championship in his debut match. I know, unlikely as it sounds, but I think Triple H is really, really behind Carmelo Hayes, and to be frank and honest, I don't think he's walking out of NXT Stand and Deliver dethroning Bron Breakker. I really don't. I think they need to build someone. Carmelo Hayes has been in sort of NXT 2.0 for a pretty long time. I think he was one of the first people who sort of came across in that new reinvigorated brand. And I don't think he needs the NXT Championship. I think he's more main roster ready than Bron Breakker is. So I think Bron Breakker should stay in NXT, retain the championship until there's a truly credible contender. Maybe someone like Nathan Frazier, who can come across and dethrone Bron Breakker. But Carmelo Hayes can be plucked out of that developmental system, put him on the main roster, have him pin clean Austin Theory, and win the US Championship. Right there. You have made a star instantly. And they haven't really... I can't think of a time. The only time that sort of springs to mind of something like this happening was Kevin Owens and John Cena in 2016 or something like that. I think it was even before that, maybe like 2014. Yeah, it hasn't been done really because Vince hasn't shown faith in his NXT call-ups and given them that big spotlight crowning moment on a show, unless it was seen as open challenge. So I really think Carmelo Hayes is primed for the main roster, and this would cement him as a star on the red brand, which it's sorely lacking in. So yeah, put him up right there. And finally, my number one prediction. This is the most out there because we don't know what's happening with this situation. It's getting little morsels every now and then. Jay White, Switchblade Jay White, will make his debut on Monday Night Raw, squaring up to former Bullet Club leader Finn Balor, setting up a feud of the Judgment Day versus Jay White and the Good Brothers. Now, I don't know when AJ Styles is back from injury, but I really like the idea of Jay White coming in, bringing back the Good Brothers, who we haven't seen for a long time. I can't remember the last time they were on like TV. And having him, sort of like what they did in AEW, where it was Adam Cole who took over from Kenny. I'd like to see Jay White take over from Styles. Granted, their paths didn't really cross in terms of New Japan and stuff like that, but him bringing those two out, he knows those two guys. We've seen it in Impact, we've seen it in New Japan, and you do that feud there of Bullet Club leader, and then AJ Styles comes in later. Who does he side with? Does he side with Balor, or does he side with White? I think you've got the makings of a really interesting story there if you bring White in with the club and taking over the OC from Styles. You can and then WWE have got their own sort of elite Bullet Club stuff going on there, and I think that'd be really interesting. I think it's a great pairing to have Balor versus Jay, and it just make for a great match. Particularly a pay-per-view caliber match, and having Jay White's first match be at WrestleMania Backlash taking on Finn Balor. That's just money. It's money. It's a really cool match. I don't think it'll happen, but it's my wild prediction. It's my out there wacky wild prediction. That's what I think will happen. Those are my 5 predictions for the Raw after WrestleMania. Let me know yours down in the comments. Now, talking about some big things, and I say big things, what's happened is my partner has got me our anniversary present is to do up this room. This room will not look the same in the next video you see. It will be different. It will be a changed set it will look completely different. Hopefully it'll look really good, hopefully really captivating, and you'll be able to see all my figures, all my wrestling goodness in a more organised manner. Hopefully it'll look good. I hope you guys like it. And yeah, let me know any feedback you have about the quality of video I put out down in the comments. That is it. That is it from this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Please hit subscribe. Thank you all ever so much, and have a nice day.